Efficiency for me isn't about getting things done quickly. It's about increasing your chances of succeeding at that thing by streamlining it into your life. Streamlining outsmarts our laziness when we don't want to or can't be bothered to do something. If you're already downstairs, it's easier to get that extra glass of water, take out the bin, empty the washing machine, scan that document, because you're already in the environment, rather than trying to drag yourself away from your desk, sofa, bed, garden to do that thing you've been putting off. You've streamlined it into your usual activities. Streamlining your tasks means that rather than constantly running to catch up with your workload, you're already on top of it and planning for the next big thing. Efficiency isn't about wearing ourselves down. It's about managing our time better so we can get stuff done and still have time for hobbies, socializing, and relaxation. Hi, I'm Tash from The Loving Lifestyle, a channel dedicated to helping you live your best life. Today, I'm letting you in on my productivity secret: streamlining. There are a few ways to streamline your activities, depending on the type, but the most common for me are locational and task-based, as well as proactive planning. Location-based streamlining. Firstly, physically move the thing you need into a more accessible location. Do you need to track your mood as part of your therapy homework? Do you need to practice guitar every night? Do you have knee exercises you're supposed to do daily? Do you have to hoover every morning because the dog's fur sheds everywhere? Move those items that you need into a more obvious location that you frequent daily. For example, your journal could go next to your toothbrush. Your guitar could sit by the front door ready for when you get home from work. Pop your exercise sheet on your bedside table so it can't be forgotten. The lazy person in us doesn't see these tasks as high priority because technically we could survive without doing them. But in order to live our best lives, we really should. So moving them to a hard to miss location helps you outsmart the lazy part of your brain and encourages you to succeed. Secondly, streamline your activities as you move around your house or workplace. Streamlining is something that I incorporate all the time into my day. I mentally plan out the tasks I need to do by location. I'm talking simple stuff here too, like grab clean tea towels when you're in the laundry after hanging up my bedding to dry. Then put them in the kitchen whilst I boil the kettle to make salt water to clean my piercing. Then flick the oven on to preheat whilst I pop upstairs to take a quick shower, do my skincare routine, etc. This may all sound pretty simple if you already do this, but I know a lot of people who tend to dawdle. They'll scroll through their phone whilst the kettle's boiling, traipse up and down the stairs multiple times doing different tasks, and then complain that there's never enough time. Eat dinner late because they forgot to preheat the oven, boil the pasta water, defrost the tofu. When you have a rough mental plan of your procedures, it's far easier to group them together by location or duration. Plus, when you get all of your chores done in half the time, you have more time to switch off or to start that hobby you claim you never have time for. We all know that we need to put down our phones and be more present. Start by streamlining. Task-based streamlining. Firstly, stop multitasking. Multitasking is actually a misnomer. In reality, you're task switching, which means you're not focusing fully on the task at hand and actually spending more time overall on the tasks than you would have if you'd just done them all individually. Plus, you have to consider the residual time between switching tasks. It takes time to physically and mentally switch between tasks, which, if you're doing repeatedly, adds up to a lot of time wasted bouncing all over the place. Secondly, try task batching. This is really all in the name. It's simply completing tasks in bulk depending on their type. For example, replying to all those important emails in one go rather than dropping back and forth between other work, or making all of your phone calls in one batch. You can also apply it to compiling all your research in one batch and analysing it in the second batch. This idea can seem quite overwhelming because you're accumulating a lot of stuff all in one go, but if you shift your mindset, you'll actually realise that you're ticking off huge parts of your to-do list by doing it this way. Imagine how much easier it will be to write that paper or article when you already have all your research compiled and ready for you, instead of randomly Googling and running back and forth to the library to find that extra reference. I task batch my videos. I research topics I'm interested in one bulk, then I write a few videos in one go, then I film in bulk, and then finally I edit and preload them all in one go. This way I know that I always have content ready and I can spend plenty of time brainstorming what else I'd like to talk about. Proactive planning. Firstly, time gaps are a major time waster, and unfortunately our plan A's don't always go through. When you make appointments, delegate tasks, hire someone, book a venue, etc., if you don't have a backup plan, you're left starting from the bottom when it falls through. For example, when your first choice for a consultant pulls out or isn't available. If you haven't already got the details and made preliminary contact with another consultant, you'll be wasting time researching, contacting, explaining the situation, and waiting for a response from said consultant. Do the preliminary work early on so that you already have the next option ready to go if you need it. It is really as simple as sending 2 outreach emails instead of 1, or having already researched and saved the phone number of the next best service. No responsible person goes out with just 1 taxi number saved in their phone. It should be the same for every important service in your life, personal or work-based. Secondly, schedule rest time. Overworked people aren't efficient. And on the other hand, if you don't monitor your rest time, you may find yourself putting off tasks and tricking yourself into thinking you're practicing self-care, but really you're practicing avoidance. By scheduling in regular rest time, for example, Sunday mornings or Wednesday evenings, you are recharging your batteries regularly, keeping your mind fresh and avoiding putting off big tasks with the excuse of needing a break. One huge reactive breakdown when you're burnt out wastes a lot more time than if you proactively allow yourself plenty of regularly scheduled rest time. A final pointer here on efficiency and streamlining is to keep your space organized. If you want to streamline your activities, you're going to need to have everything accessible and in its place. By keeping your space organized, be it physical or digital, you'll be able to flip between tasks without spending 15 minutes searching for a misnamed file or a misplaced stapler. It's common sense, but it will save you a lot more time than you think. Thank you so much for watching my slightly harsh efficiency truths. If you are someone who tends to dawdle, flip between big tasks, and is always searching for that misplaced paper or phone number and rarely has a backup plan, take a moment to consider all the time that could have been spent doing things that you love, rather than flustered, frustrated, and behind on tasks. The topics discussed in today's video aren't hard to implement. They are habits in a way, and we're all very capable of creating new healthy habits and ditching old ones. I believe you can teach yourself to streamline, and I'm confident it'll be an efficiency game changer for you like it has been for me. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the little bell below so you never miss my content. And let me know down in the comments which streamlining method you're going to try first. I'll see you next week or over on my Instagram at The Loving Lifestyle blog.